part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Hey, what's good? Welcome into the latest edition of Cavs on the Break, an NBA podcast. I'm John Sabol, alongside owner and operator of HoopsWire.com, NBA writer. You've seen his work on many platforms, Sam Amico. Samuel, what is going on, man?
Not much. Just sitting here in Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse with you after the Cavs swept the season series from LeBron James and the Lakers.
Yeah, we're taking the Cavs on the Break podcast here on the road. Sam and I watched the big sweep here, 116-102 win over the Lakers, spoiling LeBron's debut. Hard to believe, Sam, as we record this here in an empty arena. This place was just energetic and electric tonight. Mainly because of what Donovan Mitchell did in the fourth quarter. We'll touch on that in a little bit. But it had a lot of LeBron-like feels here, except this time LeBron was wearing purple and gold.
Yeah, and I've covered a ton of NBA games, been in the arena thousands of times. This was one night that I really enjoyed. There was no real animosity. It sounds simple and silly, but it was really all about the basketball, and what this Cavs team is becoming. And they're proving their worth. I thought it was a big win when they beat the Lakers in LA, finally get that, LeBron weight of the world off their shoulders. And then to follow up and beat the Cavs beat the Lakers in Cleveland. You pointed out to me during the game, just second time ever the Cavs have beaten a LeBron James team in Cleveland. So I just think it's been, just adding to what is a really fun season. Fun team to watch. They have their moments where they're not fun to watch. The Cavs, every NBA team does, but I thought, obviously electric performance, Donovan Mitchell. And it really is, I just think that the crowd has really become kind of a knowledgeable basketball crowd, as opposed to, when LeBron James was here, let's face it was kind of a celebrity crowd.
Yeah, a lot of bandwagon fans.
Right, and now I just think that these are old school Cavs fans. There's also the new school, but just that crowd that loves the game. And this was really all about the basketball. It wasn't about LeBron's return, which is kind of surprising.
Which is nice, considering
yes.
This was his 10th time coming here to Cleveland as a visitor, 20th game overall. He has now fallen to 17-3 all time against the Cavaliers. I mentioned that, and you mentioned it too. And I told you this during the game, just his second win at home here. The other one came in March 29th, 2011 against the Heat. I was actually at that game.
So was I. Baron Davis game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Ryan Hollins had a big game that game.
Yeah. I mean, cast of characters there. An interesting thing about LeBron, and we'll get into the positive of the Cavs, but we just got to get the LeBron obvious elephant in the room out of the way first. This was his statistically, his third worst game offensively against the Cavaliers. He tied for his second lowest point total at 21 points. I know you're probably wondering out there what was his worst, which was in 2012. He had 18 points against the Cavs and a 6-point
Heat win, wasn't it?
A 7-point Heat win, in 2012. But he did have 17 rebounds tonight. That is a career high versus the Cavaliers in 20 games.
Yeah, well, and the Lakers need every one of them because Anthony Davis went out very early. Would he play like 3 minutes maybe, if that? And went out with
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
1 point. Yeah, he went out with flu-like symptoms.
Yeah.
So we were in the post-game presser on the Lakers side, and Darvin Ham said it wasn't COVID-related. So, that's unfortunate. I think if Anthony Davis had played in this game, it would be a significant different outcome.
Well, you certainly would. You would think it would at least go down to the wire, which it didn't. And it looked like it was going. At one point it was 92 all, and then Donovan Mitchell went crazy. So you would think that it would have been, different story. Maybe
we'll get into the positive signs for the Cavs in here in a moment. I just want to touch on a couple of things about LeBron before we do get into the Cavs side. We just came back from the post-game press conference with LeBron. He spoke to the media for about maybe 5 or 6 minutes. He had a couple nice positive things to say about the city of Cleveland, the fans here. The Cavaliers gave another video tribute to him here.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, I know TNT aired parts of it, not the entire clip, obviously. Due to
I have
time
it on my
constraints.
Instagram too.
Yeah, and I have it on my on my Twitter as well. Actually, that's a good way to segue to plug our socials real quick. At John_Sabol, at Cavs on the Break Pod. Plug your IG and your Twitter.
At Amico Hoops is my Twitter, at Amico Hoops. I would hope that most of our listeners know that by now.
Probably, hopefully.
Because considering I started it on Chisel and Granite, it was that long ago. And then, my Instagram's just Sam Amico. So
easy to remember.
Yeah, and we've got the clips up there of the Cavs tribute to LeBron.
And that was great, and LeBron really embraced it. He did admit, though, it caught him off guard. It caught all of us off guard. We had no idea that was coming.
Yeah.
We weren't given a heads up on it. Not to say they would tell us, but usually sometimes that's going to happen. The first time he came back as a member of the Lakers, the Cavs did a video. You knew that was coming, but here we didn't know that was coming, which it took him a while on the court to finally acknowledge it and wave.
He started blowing kisses.
Yes, it took a little bit, but he finally did it. He seemed like he got a little emotional, not crying, but I think you could tell it was hitting him, and he even admitted it.
Yeah.
He also had some great things to say about the Cavs in general. They were a great team before Donovan Mitchell. Now they're even better. Cavs are on his radar. I mean, he watches this team, follows them a little bit, mainly
Without
because
question.
of the personnel on this team. Darius Garland first is a clutch client. We got to see him and DG and LeBron embrace each other afterwards here in the bowels of the stadium. But he had a lot of good things to say about the city of Cleveland and about how our fandom of this town loves our sports teams, and LeBron knows it.
Yeah, and he talked a lot about the team. He said they were pretty good last year.
Yeah.
And then they add Donovan Mitchell, and now they're even more dynamic. And LeBron said they're better this year than they were last. Obviously, very good trade. So, thankfully no one asked him if he was coming back, because I know you offered me a little bit of money to do that.
I did. Undisclosed amount of money.
Yeah, I didn't think it was worth it. Probably, get my press pass taken away.
Probably.
And but I just think, that dynamic of his appreciation for the team, he can really appreciate it now because they've beaten him twice.
Yeah.
And you look now, okay, LeBron James is out of the way, right? If you're the Cavs, finally got that out of the way. We don't play them again until the finals, right? So
is that what we're going with? Is it a bold hot take prediction right there?
I'll tell you what, that would be a ratings.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it would just be a bonanza. But I think more than anything, now the Cavs can just say, because there's always this night. It's always looming over them, even though they downplay it and both sides downplay it. And I will say that I've been coming back, I was here when LeBron was playing for the Heat. I was here when he came back. And now here again, I can say I've never seen such a subdued press conference and kind of, I don't want to say fans, but there just wasn't the buzz that there normally is. I think part of that's the Browns, but part of it's also it's just not that big of a deal anymore.
No, it's not, and I agree. I mean, there was no buzz here at all. I mean, I was at shoot around today with the Cavs, and Kevin Love talked about it. And you got to ask the questions as members of the media, but you can kind of just look at his body language, and he was like, "Really, guys, we're talking about LeBron again?" But I guess we have to. And Kev was good about it. I mean, he said all the right things. What LeBron did to the organization, to Northeast Ohio, to Cleveland and Akron and everything. But players, and even Lamar Stevens, who's also available, and the only other player besides Love in the shoot around this morning, knew, hey, we're treating this any other game. Now, I hate to hear that because it is sports cliche.
Yeah.
But they really do now treating it that way, and it feels that way now.
Yeah.
And so
really
in a way,
does.
Lamar and Kevin were right.
Yeah. And John, I said this to you during the game. We're sitting up there in the press row, and I said to you, the Cavs right now are approaching this the way they're playing this game with it, because they're kind of lacking energy at times. I said, sometimes you feel like they're playing the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
It's not even, there wasn't the normal energy from them that they get from facing LeBron. Now, in one sense, that's good because it's a sense of we've moved on from that. And in the other sense, I think that it is still a big deal, but as you said, they keep saying, it's just like any other game. I think they're trying to convince themselves of that.
Yeah.
And just to get over the hump. And they did that. They beat the Lakers in Los Angeles. And I don't know, John, we probably look it up. Forget LeBron. When's the last time the Cavs swept the season series from the Lakers?
Wow.
It's got to have been a while. And if you go back even further, as we always like to do, when's the last time the Cavs swept the season series from the Lakers without LeBron James on the team? Who knows if that's ever even happened? So, I just think it was a matter of these guys just being more talented. You looked at me and said it. You take LeBron off that team. Anthony Davis wasn't on the floor. The rest of that team, the Lakers, are not good.
Well, you mentioned the Orlando Magic, and I kind of want to say, without LeBron, the Lakers are pretty much Orlando Magic.
Right, yeah.
Once AD left.
Right. Once AD's out of the game, LeBron's out of the game, you look at that team, and you think, this is a team the Cavs should be putting away, and that may be why they didn't have the energy, because it's like, we can just turn it on and beat these guys, and that's exactly what they did.
You going back here, I'm looking at you had me curious. You put me on the spot, and I'm trying to deliver. The last time the Cavaliers swept the season series against the Los Angeles Lakers without LeBron, or even with,
I think they beat them. They swept them one year with LeBron.
Yeah, and I'm looking here in the database here on the spot
92.
as we were recording this. I don't see it. I don't think the Cavaliers have ever done it.
No.
I find that hard to believe, though. Maybe this website is.
Oh, wait, what's that?
Oh, here we go. 92. You were right. 92.
So that would have been Cavs won in 2 overtimes on March 13th, 1992.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that,
like 2 weeks earlier, they beat them.
They beat them.
That was at the Coliseum.
Wow.
Cavs won 101.
That was a Mark Price, Brad Doherty, Larry Nance.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the year the Cavs went to the Eastern Conference Finals for the final time before LeBron came. And
now I'm curious.
Lost to Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Who were the leading scorers of that team? Wow. That game, that first win, Brad Doherty and Larry Nance had 25 points.
Price had 18.
Craig Elo had 15.
Yeah.
What a lineup.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the glory days. Meanwhile, that Lakers team was pretty garbage.
Sam Perkins, Byron Scott, a washed-up James Worthy, who played 42 minutes, A.C. Green, Sadale Threet.
Vlade Divac, the young Vlade there.
Yeah.
Anyways, but...
Yeah, I think we got off track a little, thanks to me.
You know what? I take that back, Sam. The Cavs swept the Lakers again in 93. Oh, no. 93. They had a 4-game winning streak over them in the 92 season and 93 season combined. So they swept them in back-to-back seasons.
Okay.
So, and then again they did it. And then, I didn't scroll up far enough. My bad. I remember.
98? Sean Kemp?
95, 96 they did it.
Well, what about this? 96.
95, 96, okay. Yeah. Wow. All right. I remember my first time using the internet. They had to have done it more.
It's possible.
They had to have done it early in LeBron's years. Yeah, they did. I didn't scroll far enough.
No. I said without LeBron.
Oh, without LeBron. Yeah. Okay, so they did it with LeBron. The Cavs did it in 06, 07, and then they did it again in 07, 08, and 2009, 2010. So yeah.
Yeah, with LeBron.
With LeBron.
What was that?
Wait a
2015.
Second. That was with LeBron.
Yeah.
And they did it again in 16 with LeBron and 17.
17.
Okay. So we're going back to early 90s without. We got off topic. Okay.
Which is what we do here on the Cavs on the Break
we do
podcast.
that, especially, when we're together for sure. So Cavaliers win. They are now 16-9. Lakers came in actually playing pretty well. Winners 8 of the last 10 games, but Anthony AD going down. LeBron, pedestrian numbers of 21 points, had 4 assists. We mentioned that 17 rebounds. For a moment there, we thought this game was going to get out of hand in the third quarter.
Yeah.
I'm looking here. I'm looking at my notes from the game, and the first thing that pops out at me actually is the halftime show of Joey Chestnut winning in a competitive eating competition of crushing 40-some pierogies.
47, I think it was.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Another off topic. Anyways,
I would have won that if I couldn't do hot dogs, I could do pierogies.
Pierogies, yeah.
I'm Italian.
He beat 3 other guys. It's a Polish.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Italians are good at pierogies. I'll tell you that. I'm one Italian who's very good at pierogies.
He beat 3 other guys combined. All right. Anyways, if you want to see him,
if you're still listening,
if you want to see him destroy pierogies, I have that on my Twitter timeline as well. All right, let's do this. let's take a break, and then we'll go into what happened in this game, and we're going to rave about Donovan Mitchell. So keep it right here. More Cavs on the break coming up right after this.
Ohio, listen, I have some great news for you. DrafKings Sportsbook is coming to the Buckeye State, and Press Play Podcast has sponsored with them to help you get the most bang for your buck. And it won't be long until you can bet on all your favorite sports from the comfort of your own home. To celebrate, all new customers will receive $200 in free bets when you sign up today using our promo code P3Cavs. That's capital P, the number 3, capital C, capital A, capital V, capital S, P3Cavs. Plus, 5 lucky customers will win a $100,000 free bet. You heard that right. $100,000 free bet. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you, right now, if you sign up for free, $200 in free bets just for signing up with our promo code, no deposit required. And you'll be entered to win a $100,000 free bet when you sign up. I just did it. It is super simple. It's easy. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, wherever you get your apps on your phone. It is the best. You'll receive that $200 in your account the moment sports betting becomes legal in Ohio, looking like January 1st. You don't want to miss out on this incredible offer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966, 21 years, ages, and older. You have to be physically present in Ohio. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory license requirements. 1 entry per customer. $200 will be issued as 8 $25 free bets. No purchase necessary for sweepstakes. Void where prohibited. Ends the first day DraftKings is allowed to operate in Ohio. See terms at dkng.co/OH. Hey, this is Chase Smith, and I'm here to tell you about our wonderful longtime friends over at Aligned Health Center. Did you know Aligned Health Center is the first and only chiropractic biophysics clinic in Northern Ohio? There is no other chiropractic clinic in the area that does what Aligned Health Center does. Let me tell you all about them. And I should know, I just went to them last month and they were incredible. From the welcome staff to the technicians and the doctors, it was an incredible experience, and I know you're going to enjoy your time there. Chiropractic biophysics is a technique that actually reshapes the spine and restores it to its original correct position. At most chiropractors you go in, you just get an adjustment and you're left with that short-term relief, but it's not actually fixing the underlying structural issues. But at Aligned Health Center, they actually aim to correct the structural issues and provide long-term relief to their patients. I'm talking about back pain, neck pain, migraines, ADHD, digestive issues, sleep disturbance, whiplash, scoliosis, and knee pain. Yes, that's right. They can even help correct lifelong knee pain. And it gets better. They're opening a huge, brand new state-of-the-art facility in Westlake. It's going to look so nice. I saw the floor plans. It looks incredible. You're going to love it. And in addition to chiropractic biophysics, they also offer regenerative medicine, which is a way to help rebuild cartilage in various joints and help reduce pain in places like knees, shoulders, wrist, and even your lower back. You can check them out online at alignedhealthcenters.com. That's Aligned Health Centers with an S, alignedhealthcenters.com, or call at 440-385-7357. Again, that's 440-385-7357 to schedule your exam. We will put the website and the phone number in the show notes of this episode.
Looking for new insights on the Cleveland sports scene with a unique side of Cleveland sports history? Then you found the perfect podcast. I'm John Sabol.
And I'm Scott Sabol, and we're hosts of the Sabol Brothers on the Baseline podcast, a podcast about Cleveland sports, but not your typical podcast about the land's sports teams. Join us as we embark on a journey of sharing a unique and historical side of Cleveland sports history with the help of some former Cleveland sports stars and other historical figures.
All right here on the Sabol Brothers on the Baseline podcast, part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
The R&R podcast going to be rocking and rolling with you because football season is underway. College, Ohio State, the Power Fives, the MAC, the Browns. Michael Regai, are you ready to rock and roll with some football?
Kenny, I've been ready. This is our time of year. This is what R&R is all about. We're going to be with you every week. Kenny just said it, Browns, NFL, Ohio State centric. So you got to stay with us all fall and winter long here on R&R.
That's right. The Regai and Rhoda podcast coming to you here on the Press Play Podcast Network. Subscribe now and don't miss a show.
What's up, everyone? Chase Smith here, host of the Chase Smith Podcast, and my podcast reflects who I am. My hobbies, my interests, my passions, my curiosities, my careers, my questions, and my family. I'll spend time talking about all types of sports, movies, TV shows, trending news stories, and other cultural events, and even faith. This is who I am, and I hope I can get to know you as well. Join me on the Chase Smith Podcast, and let's have some thought-provoking conversations, only on the Press Play Podcast Network.
All right, welcome back. Hopefully you had a chance to go to your kitchen and eat some pierogies, because now Sam and I are hungry after a while. Rewatching Joey Chestnut destroy 47 pierogies in the Cavs halftime show. All right, we talked about LeBron. We don't need to continue to do that. Let's talk about what happened here. The Cavs had a hard time pulling away. They went on a nice 9-0 run in the third quarter, Sam, 79-70 after a Donovan Mitchell 3 and a phenomenal dunk. Then the Lakers went on a 13-5 run and took a 2-point lead at the end of the third quarter. And we thought, where's this Cavs offense? What just happened? Yeah. We've seen that happen before with this team where the Cavs kind of give up some runs, especially in the third quarter.
Yeah. I think, well, part of that was Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen came out of the game. And if you remember, Jared Allen in the first half kind of looked like Larry Bird, scored a career-high 22 points for a half. I think he might have finished with, 24? 26, somewhere in there. But I just think the big thing was basketball, as you know, is a game of runs, and you're going to give up a little bit of a run. And then, going into the third quarter, I thought, look, you don't want to let LeBron James hang around in the gym that he made famous, right? And I thought that was a sure sign of trouble, even if the Lakers didn't have Anthony Davis. But eventually what happened to the Lakers is what used to happen to the Cavs, which is they just didn't have enough talent. They didn't have enough talent to keep up on the road.
Right.
The road is where your role players typically don't play as well in the final quarters, typically. And that's what happened to the Lakers. Thomas Bryant, who was hitting threes in the first half, who came in for Davis. Guys like Austin Reeves were hitting some shots and stuff. Eventually, those players tend to, I don't want to say collapse. They just don't play as well in the meaningful moments on the road. And that's exactly what happened, and look, I think LeBron James is fantastic still. I also think he's going to be 38. I know he's going to be 38 at the end of the month. And, there were times out there where I would look at him and thought, LeBron looks, I don't want to say old compared to other old NBA players, but he looks old compared to the old LeBron James. And I thought that certainly impacted them tonight too.
It's bound to happen, Sam. No one's going to be young forever.
I found that out about 15 years ago.
But if you're going to be LeBron and you're going to be turning 38 here shortly, you are still averaging 26 points a game. I mean, he's still averaging 8.5 rebounds. He's still averaging 6.5.
I mean, he looks to me like as long as he plays second fiddle to AD and accepts that role, and I think he has, I don't think they're going to turn it around to the point where they're going to do anything special, but maybe they'll get into the playoffs. I don't know. I mean, the West is tough.
Yeah, West is tough.
We're going to see old friend Mike Brown Friday night. At least I am. I'm going to come see him.
You're going to hang out here with Mike? Yeah.
Yeah. Mike and I will probably go to dinner.
How about the start of this game? Jared Allen was questionable because of his lower back issue that he suffered 5 games ago in Milwaukee, and he's missed those last 5 games. I saw him at shoot-around in the portion open to the media, and he's not really doing much. Shoot-around on a game day is very, very limited, but he seemed fine. Yeah. And tonight, man, did he seem fine. He came out electric, started the game off 9 for 9 from the field with 18 points in the first quarter.
Yeah. No, I think maybe that rested him, served him pretty well. He was just in a rhythm. And it wasn't just shooting. It was the way he was moving without the basketball, just really finding a lot of space. And I thought, granted, LeBron had, 21 points, did we say?
Yep.
Is that what he had?
Yeah.
I thought, and Jared Allen guarding him most of the game. I thought he did a really nice job on him. That's not an easy task for 7-footer to try to guard LeBron, because LeBron usually drives around you. But he did a nice job challenging his shots, making his shots difficult at the basket. And really, look, Jared Allen's an all-star. They're a different team when he's in there.
That I don't think would have happened, meaning the matchup of Jared Allen on LeBron if AD is there.
AD, yeah.
And that's why I think this outcome may have been a little bit different. I think the Cavs may still have won because Donovan Mitchell went off, which is a great segue to that. He had a phenomenal game, especially really woke up in the second half. 43 points, team high, his Cavaliers career high so far. 6 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, he just 17 of 27 from the field, hit 4 threes. I mean, he took over games. This offense runs through Donovan Mitchell. I know earlier in the season, in the preseason, you, me, Jeremy, and Chase all had discussions about whose team is this. You and I think Jeremy both agreed that it was Donovan's. Chase wanted to be Darius's.
I think I might have gone with Darius.
Okay.
The thing is, you can't make predictions like that until the guys play.
Yeah, no, it's something fun to do.
But,
but
I always have an excuse when I'm wrong. That's my mom used to get on me about that. Just stand up and be a man about it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say you can't make predictions about it preseason until because we haven't seen them play together. Now that we've played together, there are nights where it looks like it's Darius' teams. But I mean, night in, night out, most of the time, Donovan Mitchell is the guy who, I mean, we saw him. He just took over the game. He just said, you know what, no more, and I'm going to will us to win. And my gosh, I'll tell you what, the Cavs had the best player on the floor tonight.
And I think, to be fair, both guys could be their team, right? But the offense, when game moments, they both at times have taken over games this year. Yeah. But I think more, and I'd have to look this up, but just from watching the games, I feel when you're getting into a situation where you need someone to take over at a consistent clip, I think Donovan Mitchell has that clip a little bit more than Darius at times.
Sure. Well, Donovan Mitchell just is so much. And this isn't a shot at Darius Garland.
It's not at all. I love Darius.
But Donovan Mitchell just has a way of finding seams, of getting himself good looks, and he doesn't force it. Very rarely do you see Donovan Mitchell force anything. He doesn't make a ton of turnovers for a guy who handles the ball as much as he does. He's almost like the Nick Chubb of the Cavs. He just finds ways to be productive in terms of getting, he can make something from nothing. Mm-hmm. And that's what Nick Chubb does with the Browns. And, he's one of the few guys, Donovan Mitchell, who can do that. It's like, I will break you down off the dribble eventually, and I'll get a wide open look, whether it's a layup, whether it's a mid-range shot, or whether it's a three. It's very clear that Donovan Mitchell is, if this continues and the Cavs continue at this pace and continue to play as well and stay as healthy and are, in the top 3 in the Eastern Conference all year, he's going to be, he'll be in the, in the MVP conversation for the league.
I know you tweeted something recently because I don't know what national outlet had their top 4 MVP candidates in the month of November, December. And you're like, it's way too early. It's just silly stuff to talk about. And it is.
Yeah.
We got to talk about something in this day and age. I was shocked that no one outside of the Cleveland market is talking about Donovan Mitchell, though, like that. I know he cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, he cooled off and that's what happens. You cool off for 3 games in a row, and they remove you, and the Cavs were, they weren't playing as well without Jared Allen. And then they lost the game in Milwaukee, which a lot of teams have done, and then you follow that up with a loss to the Raptors. So that kind of came out all at the same time. But if your team wins, and you're a huge reason why your team wins, you're going to be in that conversation. Donovan Mitchell, if this continues, without question, will be in the conversation, and deservedly so. To me, the MVP thing, though, you could pick one of 6 guys every year.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic, to me, is just phenomenal. Obviously, Steph Curry's phenomenal. Donovan Mitchell, phenomenal. I don't think Tyrese Halliburton is going to be a bona fide MVP candidate at the end of the season, but he's playing very well for the Pacers, and the Pacers are overachieving. So there are so many guys, and I'm sure I left 7 off the list, there's so many guys who could be in that conversation. Anthony Davis, the way he's played, but the Lakers aren't winning games often enough. So, you know, that's always kind of a crapshoot, and it comes down to who's playing the best the last 2 or 3 months of the season, really.
And the beauty about that, Sam, is we have so many podcast episodes to record between us two, Chase and Jeremy, between now and trade deadline talk in February, playoff preview in the spring, and rewards in June to really go over all that.
Yeah.
Cavaliers are winners here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse over the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James. Final score here, 116-102. Donovan Mitchell leading the way, 43 points for the Cavs. Darius Garland, 21 points. Jared Allen, 24. And for our former king here in Cleveland, LeBron James had 21 points in the Lakers' losing effort. Cavs improved to 16-9 as we record this here on Tuesday evening of the December 6th. Cavs back in action again here coming up later on this week. They've got your boy, you just alluded to that, Mike Brown. Cavs get a couple days off. They've got the Kings coming up here on Friday, followed by homestand wraps up. It's a quick 3-game homestand. Then they got the Thunder, and they hit the road again on Monday the 12th at San Antonio, and then to Dallas on the 14th. Final thoughts real quick here before we wrap this up, Sam.
Real quick, I just wanted to throw in one thing. I think the Cavs still, and this game to me showed it, and it's starting to rear its head a little bit more. They need some outside shooting from the corners that aren't Mitchell and Garland. And I'm sure we'll address that on future podcasts, but that's something that stood out to me tonight. Other than that, no. I hope everyone continues to follow me on Twitter and on HoopsWire, because we are not done with our former Cavs coming back to town this week, as I've mentioned, and Mike Brown and I always share some really bad dad jokes, so I will share those on Twitter as well. So I guess that's it for me, and thanks everybody for following along and listening.
Yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at Cavs on the Break. Follow Sam at Amico Hoops. Read all of Cavaliers and all NBA news on hoopswire.com. Sam had an interesting article. We'll just tease you with this, listeners. An interesting article regarding Colin Sexton and the Utah Jazz that created some type of a stir with some people on Twitter today. We'll just leave it at that. But go check that out, HoopsWire. Follow me at John_Sabol. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back again next week right here on Cavs on the Break, an NBA podcast, all part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Congratulations, Cleveland. Your decades-long wait is finally over. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.